I know there would be some people who would be pretty bitter, like they would be pretty upset, and they would be, after getting their rejection letter, they would be trashing the JET program. They'd be like, oh, that mother, and those, and it wasn't worth it, and pretentious, and they were probably racist, and beep, beep, and blah, you know. But like, the reason I'm not trashing the JET program, though I was rejected, is because, one, I have a job. I already had a plan B in place. So it's not, I'm not like hurting financially. It actually calms my soul down, because I was thinking, oh my God, like, am I gonna have to get on a plane and go to Japan in like a month or something? You know, and the coronavirus is going on again. Right now the coronavirus is going on, so like, Japan is not even probably gonna work out for a lot of JET applicants in this year. You know, to be honest, how can you pass your JET interview? How can you make sure you're one of the few, the proud, the brave, that actually makes it to Japan? Well, make sure your resume is on point. Now, you don't have to have teaching experience to be allowed into the JET program, but make sure you have some volunteer experience, some experience working with kids. Any experience in the classroom is a winner. A TOEFL or a TUSL certificate is a winner. And then if you have a degree in education, that is a for sure sign winner. If you speak Japanese, put that on your application. Another thing is when you're writing your essay, instead of going on and on about how amazing Japan is, go on and on about how amazing the opportunity to teach in Japan is. There's a big difference between those two things. The JET program is not a free ticket to Japan. You are teaching in Japan. So make sure when you're writing your glorious essay, your personal statement, and make sure when you're talking in that interview, you stress how much you want to be a teacher, how much you want to be molded as an ESL teacher, how much you want to continue to grow and to stay in the profession of teaching. Do not talk about how awesome it would be to go to Japan. Do not talk about how awesome it would be to get free tuition. Don't talk about the amazing things that come with the JET program. Talk about almost exclusively why you would be an amazing teacher and why it would be amazing to teach for the JET program. And that seems like common sense advice, but if you're like me, you're excited and you're passionate about life, and you just always speak from your heart, and so like, it would be a lie for me to be like, I'm super passionate about teaching ESL in Japan. That's not true. I was super passionate about going to Japan. So like, I don't think the JET program made a mistake by passing on me. It was a pleasure interviewing with them, and I hope that me making this video is helping you really decide, first of all, if the JET program is actually for you, because it's for teachers. It's not for people who want to go to Japan, and it's not for people who want free college tuition. It's for teachers. With all that said, the JET program is really amazing, and good luck to you. I hope you learned from this video. Please click the subscribe. So you might be wondering about the JET program and what you can do to increase your chances of being accepted for a highly prestigious, highly competitive program. Well, I applied to the JET program, and I applied in 2019, which means I would have went in 2020 to Japan. And let me tell you what I did right. My application was on point. I am having a bachelor's degree, which is necessary. I'm having a TOEFL certificate, which is teaching English as a first language. I'm having international teaching experience in China and Thailand and Cambodia. So I'm an experienced teacher, I'm an educated teacher, and I was a well-dressed applicant. There wasn't anyone who looked better than me on that day, except for there was maybe some very handsome men, but it's really hard to compare apples to oranges. You know, the men are very tall, I'm a woman. Out of the women, I felt like I definitely looked the best. My outfit was on point. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how to be successful in your application for the JET program through my rejection. I received my rejection letter today, and I was waiting on that. I kind of felt like I was definitely going to Japan. Let me tell you what I did that was smart. I went to South Korea as my backup plan, just in case I didn't make it in the JET program, because the JET program is highly competitive, it's highly prestigious. The coronavirus is going on right now in the world, that's why I'm wearing my mask. So the coronavirus is going on. Do I think that affected my application? Hell no, I don't. What I think I did wrong in my application, even though in the rejection letter it says for whatever reasons, we can't tell you why you were rejected, but let me tell you what I felt I did wrong in my application, and I'm pretty sure this is what I did wrong. I messed up the statement essay. My statement essay was actually well written. I talked a lot about what was impressive about Japan. But what I didn't do is I didn't talk about my passion for teaching enough in my statement essay. Like, now looking back, you know, hindsight is 20/20. Looking back, what I did wrong with the JET program is I said that my future goals and ambitions have nothing to do with the JET program. And I basically said, even though I didn't say it in a blunt way like I'm saying on this video, I basically said, I'm interested in teaching for the JET program because of all the benefits you have, and because it's my ticket to Japan. Obviously I dressed up my truth, you know, but that's basically what I said. And in hindsight, that is like the worst thing you can say, you know. So, you know, I was talking about how Japan is a technological haven, and how you get into robotics, and how the JET program, after you complete a year, you get free tuition, or like, you know, it depends. They offer a couple options. Like, they have an all-girls school where you can get free tuition, and then they have Carnegie Mellon on the list where you can get, like, I think it's like a $7,000, $6,000 scholarship. You know, Carnegie Mellon is a really impressive school. And you know, so basically I was talking about what the JET program could do for me instead of what I could do for the JET program. So that was a mistake, okay? So even though the JET program is offering many enticing benefits, you don't need to bring them up in the interview. That is definitely the mistake I made. They know what they're offering you. Okay, so like, you know, you don't want to be obvious that like you're there for the free college tuition, and you don't want to be obvious that you're there because you really want to see what Japan is like. No, what you want to say is that you're passionate about being a teacher. You want to let them know that being a teacher is a long-term career and goal for you. You want to let them know that you are going to blossom in the JET program, and what that means is that you want to develop. That you maybe, you know, you don't want to be like a, you know, the thing is like technically you're supposed to get the benefit of free tuition after a year, right? But you don't want to sound like after that year you're out of the JET program, man, because the JET program is actually a very serious and prestigious career opportunity. They have the JET alumni for a reason, and many JETs are doing well for themselves. Like, there's a JET at the career consulate, at the Japanese consulate right now, which is amazing, because it lets you know that if you are a JET, you can work at the Japanese consulate. It lets you know there are real opportunities for you. But yeah, so what I did wrong was, like, you know, I was talking about the opportunities, I was talking about the benefits, and I was talking about how the JET program could benefit me. Now, like, I didn't have a bad interview. Like, actually, I could tell, like, the interviewers vibed me. Like, I could tell the interviewers were like, this person is cool, I like her. But still, I wasn't picked. And now, like, I received my rejection letter today, and I listened to Taylor Swift Shake It Off, which actually put me in a good mood. Shake It Off. You know, I had classes to teach in South Korea, actually, you know, so I don't have time to mope about the JET program. So, like, you know, and the JET program is a long application process. Like, from the time you put in your application, you don't even hear if you made it to the second round, which is like you have to go interview in New York or Chicago or wherever the nearest Japanese consulate is to you. You don't even hear if you made it to the second round for like 3-4 months. Okay, so the JET program is a long process, and then after you interview at the Japanese consulate, you don't even hear back from them for like another 3-4 months. You know, so this is a long process. And then after you hear back from them, unless you're early departure, which most people are not, you don't even go to Japan for like another 3-4 months. So like from the time you put in your paperwork, even if you're accepted, you are not looking to go to Japan for a year. Which means I would definitely look into the JET program. It is a good program. It is a prestigious program. I would definitely try, but I would not put all my eggs in one basket, because you can't sit around for a year waiting on the JET program. So first of all, have your plan B and C in place when applying for the JET program, because it's a long application process, first of all. Second of all, it's prestigious. It's actually highly competitive. Now, don't get afraid, because I know what you're thinking. If you, the most miraculous person with all that experience and credentials, didn't get accepted into the JET program, what chance do I have? Well, let me tell you, actually the JET program is more suited for people who are just getting into the ESL market. Now, that's not to say that if you're an older applicant, you won't be accepted. That's not true at all. There are older applicants that are accepted, but mostly your fresh face and your willingness to learn and being young and being youthful and just graduating are a selling point. Like, honestly, the JET program is amazing, but it is more so for recent college graduates. Not to say that if you're not an experienced teacher, you won't be accepted. You will be accepted. I am telling you that after evaluating myself and what I did wrong, is I did my statement piece wrong. I was up in there talking about technology. I don't know, I was listening to too much Elon Musk on the internet or something. And, you know, like, honestly, like, you know, I was talking about science in the future and like how impressive Japan's technology scene is and how much I would like to learn from the technology scene. Wrong answer. I should be talking about like how I'm looking to develop my skills as an ESL teacher. You know, I feel exhausted saying that sentence, so like, to be honest, it's not even true. Like, I've been teaching for a long time. I'm a pretty good ESL teacher, and like, honestly, I'm looking to change fields. You know, like, so like, you know, a lot of JET applicants are probably gonna cancel, you know, like, to be honest. That's neither here or there. The reason I'm not trashing the JET program is because the JET program is wise. They have a team of applicants who can see who is a good fit. They know who is a good fit for the program. They've been doing this for years. It's an amazing opportunity. And I don't take it personal, because it actually felt good meeting with those people. It felt good going to New York. And yes, to answer your question, I did spend money and time on the JET program. I don't live in New York. I had to travel to New York. Like, so I was on the Greyhound for like 17 hours there, 17 hours back, and the Greyhound sucks to travel. And then on top of it, my ticket was like, I don't know, let's say like, overall I spent like $300 to $400 just to get my butt to New York. And like, so I could be pretty bitter, right? Because a lot of people were like, $300, $400 down the drain. What? But I'm not bitter, because it was actually great to interview at the Japanese consulate. Like, I'm not gonna lie to myself about my feelings. Like, I felt like this was the first time I actually cared about a job. This was the first time I felt excited to interview, because like, walking through the doors of the Japanese consulate is an honor. So this is how I always feel about interviews, even if they go bad. I feel like it's an honor to be invited in the room. Like, the people who are sitting behind those chairs, their time is valuable. It's more valuable than yours, at least for what they're doing. And they don't just invite any Tom, Dick, and Harry into the room. So the mere fact that you walk through those doors means you have something about you that was prestigious. Now, if you didn't even make it through the initial phase of the program, where they, you know, they phase out like probably at least half of their applicants, if not more, then okay, maybe you don't have that shimmer and that glow. But if you actually walk into the doors of the Japanese consulate, you probably have some sort of glow about you that made them want to sit down with you. And just because you were rejected, that doesn't mean like somehow you were inadequate. It means that maybe you are meant for something else. Like, for me, like, I'm getting a little tired of the ESL world. Probably shouldn't be saying that on camera, because it's not necessarily even teaching that I'm tired of. It's just like, you know, there's all kinds of layers of education. Like, I would like to teach in a more professional manner, maybe to older students, maybe work at a performance art college. I'm singing, I'm dancing, so the truth is like, whether I stick with teaching or not, which, walking away is something I'm definitely considering, I just don't know how soon. But whether I'm sticking with teaching or not, I would like to get out of the ESL market. I'm good at teaching English, but I want to teach singing and dance and choreography and theater, or even science or politics, or, like I would like to get to the next level of teaching if I'm to stay a teacher. And the JET program is ESL. The JET program is a great place for a rookie teacher to be. It's a great place for a young person who is figuring out their lives themselves and their career path. But the thing is like, I'm already kind of molded. I'm already kind of a strong-willed individual, and I already have my ideas about how I want my life to turn out. And that's a good thing. Like, it's a good thing that I kind of know who I am. So, like, and like the people, like, they had really good vibes, man. Like, the interviewers were amazing, like, actually, and I felt really good sitting down with them. So I'm not gonna trash talk them because I was rejected. Actually, I thank them for my rejection because I am in South Korea and I just started a job and the coronavirus is happening, and what a headache it would be to drop everything and to run to Japan, and I'm the kind of person who would. And like, this allows me to focus on what I'm doing now. Like, at a company, I'm not gonna say it's the best company in the world, but my coworkers are, for the most part, pretty good. My boss is understanding me, and the job is stable, and right now, again, it's the coronavirus, so I know all kinds of people have been laid off, unemployed, and like, yeah, I have the heart and the mind right now of gratitude and also of loving myself because I don't take the rejection personal.